This is Clix, the most popular Fortnite streamer and pro player in the entire world. He's been playing Fortnite since the very beginning. He has competed in every single FNCS, but he's never won a single one.
If I win this, I'm quitting. If I lose this, I'm quitting. Whatever happens is whatever happens, bro.
But why hasn't Clix gotten that first place? Is he cursed? Is he just not good anymore? Or is there something much, much bigger going on?
All the shit I did for Epic when the game was dying. Remember when the game was dying? 5K viewers on the on finals. I was streaming that, and they can't even have the sympathy to do something for me.
Today, we will discuss how Clix has never won an FNCS and why he might never win one. To really figure out why Clix has never won an FNCS, we need to take a look at his competitive history. Some of you may have seen this popular video I made about Clix, but this one will be very different. We're going to be focusing more on the Fortnite competitive side of things as opposed to his early childhood life. And speaking of early on, Clix would start competitively gaming at a very young age.
When I was around 5 years old, I got into video games. I didn't have a PC, but my brother, which was at the age of I think 13 or something, he had a PC that I would always sneak into his room and just play Call of Duty Zombies. First game I ever played was Minecraft, and then I realized that my dream is to become a professional gamer.
From just 5 years old, he knew he wanted to become a professional gamer, and he did just that 7 years later. Because on September 26th of 2017, a new game would drop that would change his life forever.
I was playing Minecraft and I knew there was no way to necessarily make money off of, and I saw Fortnite and I had confidence that Fortnite will blow up and I could possibly make a living or a career out of Fortnite.
Fortnite's official open tournaments started on February of 2019, and Clix would play in his first ever tournament on February 14th of 2019. It was called the Share the Love Cup. Although Clix only got a 660th on NA East, considering how many people played back then, it was still very impressive for a young kid. Clix would continue to play in some smaller cups like the Scallywag and Lux Cup without earning anything, but would make his first earnings when coming in 20th place in the Black Heart Cup and earning $500. However, this was all just warm-ups leading up to what he would win in the
Fortnite World Cup. The Fortnite World Cup starts on April 13th, when all eligible Fortnite players from around the world will be able to compete in the weekly online opens. Each online open has a prize pool of $1 million. That's 10 weeks and $10 million up for grabs. And it's all online. In each region, the top performing players from the online opens will earn a spot in the Fortnite World Cup Finals in New York City to compete for their share of a $30 million prize.
Clix's success during the qualifier phase was all over the place. See, he did really well in some solo weeks, even getting first place in week 9 of qualifiers, but there were also weeks where he barely broke top 1,000. So going into the World Cup, it wasn't like Clix was a favorite or anything. However, it was cool for a lot of viewers to see such a young player involved in the World Cup. As far as duos, Clix would team up with his popular duo partner Skeptic, and although they never got first place during qualifiers, they did get a second place during week 2, which qualified them for the LAN event and made Clix one of the few players that qualified for both solos and duos. Before the actual World Cup even started, Clix had already made a whopping $22,500 in earnings from the qualifiers. And for a 14-year-old kid, that was a lot of money. Because of these insane placements, everybody had their eyes on Clix going into the LAN. The duos tournament was first up and would take place during July 27th of 2019.
Taking the stage out there, and in that group, we have Crimson Spades, Clix and Skeptics, PF Zin and Nyx, Artgram and Falconer, and then Lenon and Tyler 15.
I think a lot of people are keeping their eyes on Clix and Skeptic because Clix's rise throughout the Fortnite World Cup online opens has been meteoric. A lot of people are wondering how is he going to perform on the stage.
And unfortunately, the duo didn't do as well as they wanted, and they only placed 35th out of 50 teams. However, the minimum prize pool was still $100,000 split between the two, meaning that Clix brought home $50,000. And don't forget, the next day, on July 28th, there would be the solo tournament as well.
Starting off there with Tfue, and then following it up, Unknown Army, Niddle, Funk, Psalm, Clix, Epic Whale, Karhu, Lasers, and Kurtz. Balla. What can we say about these players? And then you have the two young warriors out of Clix and Epic Whale, known for taking walls, taking names, and pressing forward, doing everything they can to stop their opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. Clix one of the players who has fully qualified for both solos and duos.
And day 2 didn't exactly go as planned either. However, Clix did improve by placing 18th out of 100 players and winning $112,500, which made his total for the weekend $162,000, which is life-changing money for anybody, let alone a young teenager. That being said, Clix was still disappointed in his placement.
This be so sad, bro. I really just threw this. I'm so mad, bro. I should have got top 10 easy, bro.
Although he did fantastic, Cody knew that he could do better, and luckily, he would have an opportunity to show that off very soon. Shortly after the World Cup had finished, Epic Games would announce that Fortnite would be moving to an FNCS format shortly after the World Cup. And for those of you that don't know what FNCS is, it's basically like the major in any other esports. Basically, it's a massive tournament that's held 3 or 4 times a year, where the best players in each region will battle out for massive prizes. And the start of this FNCS era was crazy for everybody. Season X started off as trios, where Clix would play with Crims and Spades, getting 7th in grand finals. Although this was fantastic, Cody was looking for something better and wanted to at least break into the top 5. The next season would be squads, where Clix, Crims, and Spades would add on Blake PS as their 4th player, but unfortunately this would lead to them falling down to 18th place. Moving on to Chapter 2 Season 2, Epic would then again revert back to duos, and this meant that it was time for Clix to find a new teammate, and he would end up queuing up with another World Cup qualifier, Young Calculator. Once again, however, Clix fell outside of the top 10 and had another disappointing performance. It seemed like Clix just couldn't figure it out. Maybe he had the wrong teammates. However, that wouldn't be a problem much longer, because at the end of Chapter 2 Season 2, Epic would host a solo tournament where Clix would be able to redeem himself for his performance at the World Cup. Fortnite held an FNCS solo online invitational where Clix placed 23rd. And once again, Clix just didn't finish where he wanted to. And although 23rd out of 100 isn't that bad, when you're one of the best in the world and one of the most popular players, all eyes on you to get the win. However, in Chapter 2 Season 3, we would stick with solos moving into the next FNCS, so once again, Clix would have an opportunity to improve on this 23rd place. And once again, Clix would not live up to the task. He would finish with a 27th during the grand finals. So maybe Clix just wasn't a solo player, and that's not a problem, because the final FNCS of 2020 would see us go back to trios again. Chapter 2 Season 4 would see Clix team up with Illest and Bizzle, and once again, Clix fell short of his goals, finishing 14th out of 33 teams. Before we get too judgmental on Clix, however, we can tell that 2020 was a very hectic year. I mean, there was duos, squads, solos, and trios, meaning that Clix constantly had to switch teammates, strategies, and metas throughout the entire season. It's hard to build up chemistry with a team when you only play together for a couple of months. So with 2021 having some changes to the format and giving people an opportunity to stick with their teams longer, this would be the season that Clix would have to take over competitive. The first FNCS of 2021 was Chapter 2 Season 5 and was held March 14th. Fortnite stuck with trios, but Clix decided to drop Illest and pick up the one and only GOAT, Booga. This pickup turned out very good for Clix and his trio, as they would place 5th out of the 33 teams on NA East. However, with Chapter 2 Season 6 looming, they were all focused on getting another top 5 finish, if not the first win in Clix's Fortnite career. But things didn't work out so well, because the trio didn't even qualify for grand finals. So with that happening again, Clix would be set out to find an entirely new trio once more. Chapter 2 Season 8, we would see Clix, Bucky, and Creo go into the FNCS together on September 5th of 2021, and they got 33rd place. And if you can do math correctly, you'll notice that only 33 teams compete in a trios tournament, meaning they got dead last. With 2021 ending on a sour note, Clix would need to look for a new team going into 2022. And it's not just because his trio did bad, but also because Fortnite was now switching to duos. And that means Clix needed to find the perfect partner to play with him. And as many of you may know, the first FNCS of the year was also the first FNCS of Chapter 3, where we would see Clix team up with his iconic duo, Day. The duo actually did pretty good in their first FNCS together, and finished in 7th place out of 50 teams. However, when they played again together next season in Chapter 3 Season 2, their 35th place out of 50 would lead to them splitting again, which meant that Clix needed to look for another teammate. And if you haven't seen the pattern yet, it seems like Clix just can't keep teammates. And I don't necessarily think that this is Clix's fault. However, let me finish talking about his competitive history, because later on in the video, I'm going to talk about why I don't think Clix has won an FNCS yet, and I'm also going to talk about how I think he could do a little bit of small changes to get that first FNCS win. But moving on to the next season, Chapter 3 Season 3, Clix would team up with Dukes. And this duo did really, really well. In fact, they had the best placement that Clix has ever had in FNCS up to that point, which was 4th in Grand Finals. Because of this performance, they were invited to compete in the 2022 FNCS Invitational on November 15th. People were absolutely hyped for this event. The convention center was filled, and fans everywhere were hyped to return to in-person events for the first time since World Cup. And on top of that, players were excited for a chance to once again compete on a global scale.
The wait is finally over. We are finally here for the FNCS Invitational, and honestly, seeing how packed the venue already is, it's exhilarating.
That's right, the fans are ready, we are ready, but you know who else is ready? It's the players. Check this out. These are gonna be some of the most exciting games you will see in all of Fortnite.
The last couple of years, I really missed in-person competitions.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get back into real-life competitions.
We're really hyped to play in-person events for like the first time since World Cup.
Me and Dukes are so excited, you know what I'm saying?
It's my first time being at a tournament on LAN.
LANs are just like the greatest vibes ever.
We've been playing with each other a lot, especially in the past like 2 weeks. Yeah, we've been working hard.
Clix and Dukes would end up placing 15th out of 50 teams, which honestly isn't bad at all considering it was the first LAN back since COVID. And on top of that, this wasn't just the 50 best teams on NA East, this was the 50 best duos in the world. However, as we know, Clix takes this really seriously, and 15th was disappointing for him once again. Luckily, Epic Games decided to stick with duos for another year, but Clix and Dukes decided to break up anyway. Instead, for Major 1, Clix would team up with Donnie, and the duo would get 29th, which was not a great start to Clix's year. However, he had so many more opportunities to get into the Global Championship at the end of the year. Well, not exactly, because a few things were about to go wrong for Clix. The first thing that happened was NA West and NA East combining into one North America Central region. This created a super region that made qualifying for any tournament going forward much, much harder. Not to mention, everybody would need to move and go to Dallas, Texas if they wanted 0 ping.
New Dallas, please. Alright, so if you guys didn't know the news, Fortnite merged their West and East servers to make Central servers. So now the servers are now in Dallas. And I know you guys are saying, wow, you really moved because of Fortnite. And I'm gonna be honest, I did.
However, Clix did get himself a pretty nice place to stay. And nice apartments aside, things were about to get worse for Clix when he got banned from Fortnite for teaming.
Chat, I'm banned for 2 weeks. If you guys don't know, this means that I can't play this FNCS, the Grand Finals, and I also can't play the next FNCS. In a month. So that means I can't go to the LAN event. That means I can't go to the LAN event, and I basically can't play for the next 4 months.
That's right. Because of the rules at the time, Clix was basically unable to compete in the rest of the FNCSs for that whole year. And obviously, this was a massive disappointment for not only Clix, but all of his fans who were looking forward to seeing him compete. However, if you do something against the rules, it is only fair that you get banned. Except, Clix didn't team on purpose. In fact, he was basically forced to team with a stream sniper the whole game.
He beat me the whole entire time. He was following me since the start. He was following me, shooting me. He did over 350 damage to me the whole entire game.
The stream sniper drops a pizza for Clix, and then he picks up the pizza without thinking about it.
I should have left the game. I should have left the game after I got that pizza from the stream sniper.
And then Clix just kills the guy, getting all of his loot anyway.
But he actually followed me right here. He followed me right here. Sits in my wall, goes up and down, and lets me kill him, okay? Lets me kill him. So no matter what, chat, I would have got all the loot that he gave me, and I went on to win the game.
I think this whole situation is super unfair, and I also think that stream sniping is a massive reason why Clix hasn't won an FNCS yet. And like I said, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. However, against all odds, Fortnite would change the rules, saying that a 14-day ban from the game would only punish you from competing in 1 FNCS tournament instead of 2. And although Clix missed Majors 2, he was now able to compete in Majors 3.
I'm on van! Let's go! Don't
zombies in the chat right now!
This time, Clix would team up with one of the best players in North America West history, Epic Whale. And unfortunately, they didn't do as good as they wanted to, which means they got 23rd. However, in this season, Epic announced a last chance major, which was basically a 4th FNCS for the year, where players who hadn't qualified for globals yet would be able to get a chance. And Clix and Epic Whale came in clutch, getting a 4th place, which got them a ticket right to the global championships.
Clix and Epic, Copenhagen.
And right before going to globals, Clix made a massive announcement right before the tournament. He was now an owner of the esports organization XSET.
One last announcement. We've acquired a majority share in XSET!
This was a huge announcement considering most organizations were pulling out of Fortnite at this time, and it was really awesome that Clix doubled down on the Fortnite org scene and even invested a ton of his own money into it. And we'll talk more about his involvement with XSET later and how that could be playing into all these issues of him not making it into FNCS. Unfortunately for Clix and Epic Whale, they wouldn't even make it out of the lower bracket. They finished 27th on day 1 of the grand finals, just missing out on their chance to play in day 3 of the finals. Although the loss at globals was hugely disappointing, we see for the first time in a while Clix deciding to stay with a duo for more than a couple seasons. Epic Whale and Clix would go into 2024 planning to play duos again together. In Major 1, Clix and Epic Whale tied their best placement ever, getting Clix another 4th place in FNCS. He seems to have this curse where he just can't beat 4th place and get onto that podium of top 3. Anyways, the other negative part about this major is that only the 1st place team qualified to the globals, which means that Epic Whale and Clix needed to try and get that elusive golden ticket to LAN one more time. And things wouldn't work out as planned, as they landed in 14th place in the Majors 2 of that year. Because of this, Clix would do what he does so often and part ways with his duo going into Major 3. However, this would turn out to be a good decision, because Clix would end up duoing with one of the best players on EU named Veno. At first, people didn't really believe that they were teaming because the two were from entirely different continents. But just a few days later, Veno was at Clix's apartment showing his face on his stream. And honestly, nobody knew how this team would perform together, considering how many videos there were of them yelling at each other.
Just stop complaining.
Nah, you shut the fuck up, bro, because that's not the reason you died. You were gonna get hit on no matter what.
I've been begging you for 5 minutes. Get the f up here.
You haven't.
I've been waiting 10 minutes. Now this team's in front. Nah, I haven't, okay? I've been telling you. Teach me farming metal, come.
But let's be real, who knows if those videos are real or just clip farming. Anyway, the two entered Majors 3 needing to do well, and it was their last chance to qualify and they needed to lock in. And they did just that, because at the end of day 1, Clix and Veno were in the 1st place position going into the final day of FNCS. This had to be it. This was the one chance that Clix had to break his curse and get his FNCS win. However, there was one massive duo in their way, and their names were Peterbot and Poyo. A seemingly unbeatable team would end up giving a tragic day 2 to Clix and Veno. However, it wasn't exactly Peterbot and Poyo who ruined their day. In fact, it was 2 players who were very unknown that had qualified to the grand finals that had tried to land on Clix for clout. Because of this really messed up interference, Clix and Veno would drop again into that devastating 4th place finish that Clix has gotten so many times. However, Clix and Veno did qualify high enough to get into the global championships, and we all know how globals turned out.
Would you please give it everything you've got for the FNCS Global Champions 2024 Peterbot and Poyo!
While Clix and Veno didn't get 1st place, they did get 11th, which is the best placement we've ever seen Clix get on LAN. And that brings us all the way to today. Now that you guys have a very good picture of what Clix's competitive history looks like, I want to talk about why he isn't able to get an FNCS win, and also reasons why I think that he might actually have a chance to do so if he switches up a thing or two. So without further ado, let's get into this next portion of the video. I already mentioned it earlier on, but I want to touch on Clix constantly switching teammates. If you look at his entire competitive history, which we just did, you'll notice that he doesn't stick with a duo or trio for very long. And although this can be an advantage advantage for Clix when he switches up quickly to grab a duo like Vino, it also hurts him in the long run because he can't build up chemistry. See, communication between teammates is one of the most important parts in all of Fortnite, and it's hard to build that with somebody in just a couple months before an FNCS. Now, for why this happens, I don't think it's because Clix just wants to get rid of his teammates. In fact, I think it's quite the opposite. I'm gonna give you a couple reasons why I think Clix can't keep a duo. Number one is that people seem to use Clix. See, a lot of players make good money playing competitive, but as we all know, the people that are really winning in the Fortnite world when it comes to money are content creators like Clix, who are making a massive amount of money by streaming and making videos for their fans. So what happens is a lot of massive players will want to team up with Clix for clout, and then after not winning after 1 or 2 seasons, they'll take the viewers and run. Now, I'm not going to pick any specific names and say that anybody has done that, nor can I necessarily prove it. However, I do think this is something that Clix has to be weary of, and it's probably really stressful for him to know who's using him and who is actually a genuine good duo. And perhaps even more importantly than that point is the fact that nobody wants to deal with stream snipers. I already mentioned stream sniping earlier in this video, and I think we all know how bad it can get.
So, like, it's a f***ing popcorn skin! It's a popcorn skin, dude! Now this is just in a dance. Dance for me, you mother. Dance! And he left the game. Wanna know why he left the game? Why do you think he left the game, chat? Let me know.
See, most players in Fortnite don't like stream sniping, but a lot of the pro players that don't stream haven't experienced it and don't understand how bad it can actually get. So they think stream snipers will be no problem, and then they start playing with Clix and realize just how miserable it can be. I mean, Veno is one of the most popular players in the entire world, and he didn't have to worry about getting dropped on mid-FNCS in EU. However, he flew all the way to a new country to play with Clix, only to have their FNCS griefed by a couple of kids who just wanted attention. It's kind of obvious at this point why players don't end up sticking with Clix. It's really annoying to have to be in his position. And yes, Clix is incredibly blessed, and he would say himself that having this massive audience is all worth it. However, it doesn't make it any less annoying for him to have to deal with stream snipers. And going off of that point, I can see how easy it would be for Clix to lose passion playing the game.
Wait, do I get this audience? No. I'm calling myself in the game. Nah, that calls it. Come see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys. I'm going to bed.
Losing passion for the game isn't surprising when you're dealing with all these issues, and Epic Games doesn't really want to solve it. I mean, we see another example with Ninja. Although he wasn't necessarily a pro player, we saw him quit Fortnite for a long time, and even now doesn't stream it very often because he's just tired of being stream sniped day in and day out, with Epic Games really not having a solution for it.
God, why, dude, that little piece of shit, they fucking rushed me because they knew who I was. 1,000,000%. No reason they leave out of town to kill a solo, dude. No way. They're on the highest building and they go for one guy. They didn't go for the entire time, dude.
On top of these negative things that are stopping Clix from qualling, there's also his focus on content creation. I've already said it a couple times, but Clix's main source of income is from streaming and YouTube, and that is more than a full-time job. I've only been doing this for like 7 months, and I don't even stream very often. I mostly just make videos, and it's incredibly time-consuming because you want to make the best possible content for your fans. But Clix is in this weird position where he needs to make all of this content on stream, set up his videos for YouTube, and also play a competitive season every single few months that takes hours and hours every single day to prepare for. So between streaming and uploading videos and competitive, this is more than a full-time job for Clix. And at just 19 or 20 years old, it's really impressive that he even gets it all done, let alone does it at such a high level. And don't come in the comments saying I'm glazing Clix. I'm just trying to be realistic and help you guys understand why it sort of makes sense that he hasn't won an FNCS yet. Okay, now that I've ranted a little bit about why I don't think Clix is able to win FNCS, we probably all have the same question on our mind. Will Clix ever win an FNCS? The answer is maybe. And I know you didn't wait this entire video for me to just say I don't know, but the truth is it's really up to Clix. You see, it all depends on whether competitive or content is going to be a priority for him. You see, I don't think it's possible for Clix to go full-time as a content creator and as a pro player. We've seen players in the past like Ninja and Cypher PK and even Nick Merckx try and do it, and it just never works out. However, most players decide to go with content creation because that's genuinely where the money is. But in the case of Clix, I think he's doing okay on cash, and I truly believe he cares just as much about competitive as he does about making money from content creation. And if Clix is looking to move forward and take competitive top priority, then there's no better time to do it, because going into the next year, we're going to be switching up to trios, which means that Clix isn't out of luck looking for a new duo because everybody's taken. He can take his time and find the right trio, considering that there's some cash cups over the next few months to help players warm up for next FNCS. And this cash cup season, we've already seen Clix joined by Rise and Muzz, who are two of the best players in the world, where they finished 5th in an NA Cash Cup, winning $400 each. And honestly, just from watching them play the Cash Cups, it seems like they might be a strong contender for who Clix might end up playing with next year. However, things change every minute. We don't know what the future holds for Clix, but one thing I do know is he needs to sort of make a decision. Is he going to keep relying on content, or is he going to go all in for a couple of seasons, forget about focusing on YouTube and Twitch, and go 100% on competitive and get that first win? Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and click this video right here to watch another one if you haven't seen it yet. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.